So, good morning, everyone. Hello.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
So, it's it's already 9:30, and I welcome you all. And with
Good morning, Bhaiya.
good morning, morning. So, I welcome you all in this presentation session, and I hope you must have had good times online with us, and it's time to listen from you. I mean, whatever you have been knowing so far before this program, after this program, that will really help us to construct the course better, because this is going to be a course which has to be organized every year at least once or twice. So, you never know. I mean, as we have already mentioned, that uh, if your knowledge or experience is of that mark, you can also be a resource person, because this is a very challenging, not so new, though, yet challenging and almost a tabooed aspect. So we would like to encourage the participants to come up with something new, something challenging, so that they can be the part of this program in near future. So with this, let me go by the list as I have it right now. And I think, do we have Shubhangi? Hello? I think Shubhangi is not here. Then we have, then I think, Raj Nanduri ji. Sir, are you there?
Yes, I am very much present here. Thank you very
Good morning, sir.
much,
Now,
Ji.
yes, sir. Please, sir.
Good.
Yes.
It was, in fact, a very new experience for me.
Okay, sir.
For the simple reason that I never attended, maybe because of my disinterest in the sense that there are various reasons for that. Trained in a particular kind of
Yes,
discipline
right,
from the
right,
beginning,
right. Yes, yes.
and now studies are becoming more and more interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary kind of thing. It becomes really very difficult as to choose which one I have to go in for. Like,
Yes,
see,
right,
so
right.
that's शायद ये विषय ऐसा बहुत पीछे छूट गया, मैं किसी दूसरे गया मुझे लगा, लेकिन बड़ा मजा आया, बहुत अच्छा लगा, particularly how you people all managed this, and I really congratulate you all,
Thank you, sir.
particularly सौरभ जी, आपको विशेष करके रचना, I've
Yes,
been
yes.
watching her,
जी जी बिल्कुल.
and of course कॉलेज की जो प्राचार्य महोदया हैं उनको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं कि ये एक ऐसा विषय है जिसको लेकर के उन्होंने इस प्रकार का एक कार्यक्रम बनाया है. I really appreciate that. Of course, I have attended all the lectures here, except for Ruth Vanita, जो यूनिवर्सिटी मोन्टाना से बोल रही. मुझे ऐसा लगा कि उनका थोड़ा सा बायस्ड परसेप्शन था. I may be wrong in my deliberation, but of course उन्होंने जो था सरित सागर और इनसे बहुत सारे उदाहरण लिए, लेकिन मुझे लगा कि शायद they were all culled in seclusion without giving a broader implication of those things. Maybe that may be one reason. I have also noted down, and which in times to come I'll go into details of that, and I'll see that how इंडियन ट्रेडिशन डिड नॉट लाइक। एक और चीज जो मैं कहता हूँ, जो इंडियन ट्रेडिशन है, जैसे पर्टिकुलरली 11th सेंचुरी का हमारा जो कथा सरित सागर है,
जी।
बहुत सारे हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं जो कि ब्लॉटलेस हैं, मैंने उन पर हम किसी भी प्रकार का क्वेश्चन मार्क हम नहीं लगा पाते हैं। चाहे वो वाइट हो, चाहे उपनिषद हो, अगर हम उनको देखें तो आज भी जो दुनिया भर में चाहे वैज्ञानिक अन्वेषण हो रहे हो, चाहे आर्ट्स पर हो रहा हो, फाइन आर्ट्स पर हो रहा हो, तो वो इन्हीं स्क्रिप्चर्स पर हो रहा है, दुनिया के और किसी स्क्रिप्चर्स पर नहीं हो रहा है। और अभी तक जो उस पर अन्वेषण किए गए हैं या शोध किए गए हैं, वो बड़े पॉजिटिव रिमार्क्स के साथ आते हैं। लेकिन इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दैट, आई रेस्पेक्ट, बिकॉज शी हैज डन लॉट ऑफ स्टडीज
Yes,
इनटू
yes.
दैट, एंड I'll be very happy to have her more on this panel, this platform, so that I'll enrich myself so far as this particular subject is concerned. तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट ट्रांसजेंडर, माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस, व्हाट आई कुड नो अबाउट इट, एंड पर्टिकुलरली आई रेफर टू वन text which I studied. It's an umbrella term, and it implies a person whose gender identity does not match with the biological sex assigned to that person at the time of birth. So, transgender people are also human beings, which we should understand, but they are treated like outcasts by society. So, these people generally defy gender binaries, and when they stand against these gender binaries, they are considered abnormal. This is something that we have to address through this forum as well. And as Foucault said, sexuality is a social construct. And as these gender binaries are constructed by society, society can also give space to transgender people. The mention of such identities, can be seen in our Indian history. Here, Devdatta Patnaik, I would like to refer him, in his work Ramayana versus Mahabharata, states that Hijras are a community of transgendered men in India who chose to castrate themselves as they reject their masculinity. They equated Ramarajya with gender equality and inclusion. When Lord Rama was sent for 14 years of exile by his father Dasharath, he told his followers to go back to their place, back to Ayodhya. But at that point of time, only Hijras, they stayed back till Lord Rama returned. So we have got a reference to this and how they were revered for that. And then Rama gets impressed by them and gives them a boon that they would have the power to bless the people at birth, marriage, and other occasion.
Right.
This one thing, even in rural areas, it is followed, and they are they are invited because they are supposed to be very auspicious. Their presence is supposed to be very auspicious, and it is still maintained. Of course, because of modernity, modernization, and looking down upon our own history, our own traditions, that may be one reason that they are treated as outcasts. Although I have never had any personal interaction with transgender people, except occasionally, I have read the story of transgender person Manobi Bandyopadhyay, which she wrote along with Jivli Mukherjee Pandey. And the title of the novel is A Gift of Goddess Lakshmi. I found her life story very courageous and very inspiring. Let me tell you that Manobi Bandyopadhyay was born on 23rd September 1964, 1 month after I was born. So she was born in Hooghly, West Bengal, and she was born as a boy named Somnath Bandyopadhyay. After the birth of Manobi, her father got a job in an engineering company. So everyone thought that the baby was lucky for the father and considered him as a gift of Lakshmi. So she is the first transgender college principal of India,
Yes,
and
yes.
she was the principal. Yes, and she was the principal at Krishnagar Women's College.
Hmm.
She did her PhD on the life of transgender people. She also has started a magazine named Abo Mano in 1995. It is the first transgender Bengali magazine started by her. Through their work, a gift of goddess Lakshmi, both these people, Manobi Bandyopadhyay and Chumli Mukherjee Pandey, they attempt to depict how transgender people live in Indian society and how horrific their lives are, how bigotry affects them daily. The so-called patriarchal Indian community has marginalized women for decades, and transgender individuals are now experiencing the same treatment. So, if a child behaves differently in our family, we must listen to it so that it feels valued. So, Manobi tells in her novel, my soul and sexuality did not match the image I saw in the mirror. I would look at that otherwise perfect reflection and weep for hours, quote to quote and unquote. So we should not compel the transgender people to leave their homes simply because they do not fit into the established categories that we know about. So we should not compel them to marry because it would devastate their lives and lives of people they manage. So Shakti Astitva ke Ehsaas ki, it was a very popular Indian television series with a main character named Soumya, a transgender woman whose father attempted to kill her when she was born. Since she did not fit into the polarities that we are accustomed to. So, this series depicts the life of a transgender woman, demonstrating how she has to deal with society's contempt and how her in laws refuse to accept her because she is transgender until she finally decides to join the community for the sake of her family's well being. There are several similar examples all around us. Transgender people experience discrimination across the world. Some people do not wish to see transgender people in higher positions. That also is a very important point that we should see. But I am very happy. But I heard one Mahamandaleshwar is a transgender who has got all the authority, and she is given a lot of power also to play. So therefore, those who have attained something in their lives still feel lonely. This what is the predicament presently we see. So we must consider them to be human beings in the same way that we are. Why aren't we treating them appropriately? Why do we perceive them with a wicked glint? So these people have a phobia which can be alleviated by raising awareness or educating people about them. This could be one of the platforms, I suppose. So by campaigning for their people's right, we can help to normalize their situation. We must prioritize humanity over caste, religion, and gender. So, with this, I conclude. Thank you very much for a patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Basically, we tried to contact Manubi, but we couldn't. We wanted to have her here, but we are having her name in mind, and we shall be taking your help as well while inviting her in the next program, if that is all right. If you can help her, help us, in fact. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Most
much. Thank you
welcome.
so much. Yes. It was the first presentation, so it's all right. But we do have to keep in mind the time constraints as well. So yes, please. It's time for, I think, Sonali. Are you there, Sonali?
Yes, good
Yes.
morning, sir.
Morning, Sonali. How are you?
Hi, yes, sir, fine.
Okay, great. Presentation. Good. Let me make
Yeah.
it a bit.
So, Good morning to the respected professors and everyone present here. So the topic for my presentation is Kafka's The Metamorphosis as a Trans Narrative. Initially, 2 days back, only I was reading this text for the second time, and after attending this course, the things, I mean, the LGBTQI plus was somewhere in the mind, and while the completion of the text, I thought that why can't we read this text from a new perspective, from a fresh perspective, that Graga Samsa is a transgender. So, what I'm going to tell, or I'm just going to show that how Graga Samsa can be read from the in the lens of a transgender, because after analyzing the text, we find the problem which been faced by the transgender and their confrontation is just similar with Graga Samsa. So when we just, I mean, when the text begins, so we find that Gragas metamorphosed into some new human being, and it was there that I mean, he was slept, but when he came, like we could see that his sleeping was just a symbol of that I mean, he was just living as the world wanted to live in, so-called patriarchal society wanted to live in. But now he been woke up, like now he's ready to confront himself with his new identity to the world. And as you know, like as we know that when a transgender found his own self, then first thing which triggers them is their confrontation with the world. And the same case with the Graga Samsa also. When he woke up with a new identity, with a new fresh identity, the thing is which triggered him is the confrontation. He was his gender dysphoria or transphobia, that no, how now I have that my own soul, now I have been what I wanted to be. So now how I'm going to deal with this world. For example, his mother was calling, his manager came, his sister was shouting, his father came, open the door, but he was of the view that no, how I'm going to confront them, just like a transgender, that how to confront them. So firstly, the confrontation that which all transgender, while having the new perspective, new look, have to face, that's the confrontation. And the second is, like their alienation. Like if we just see, then Graga Samsa in the preceding pages, we see that he has been alienated. When his mother observed, his manager observed, he been observed by all the society, we could say. Then he been alienated. He was feeling that no, whatever I was in previous years, I mean, I was not accepted the same by our family. So, for example, his father threw the apple on him, and he been bitterly in painful, but no one cared about his pain. And he was not only alienated from the so-called society, but he been alienated from his real self also. You know, when like when the and then and when they came, when they confronted, the first thing was their roti roti chin gaya, like just with the case with Graga Samsa. He was a very good traveler, and he was managing the whole families, but when he confronts, then first thing which triggers is that he has taken away from his job. His manager came, and he was saying no, now we can't allow him for job. So like they've been now we've been totally alienated. And the third thing is that thrown by the society. As we know that when a transgender has its own society, and they were not allowed to live in the society. Just the case with the Graga Samsa also. When he confronted, then he was thrown by the society. Like his father with his shampoo, and his mother, started his mother started like fainting and all those things. So we say, I mean, we in this text we see that he was thrown by the society, and he was being self-exiled also. For example, in the end of the text we see that he when he found that there is no one wanted to be with him, so he committed suicide. Just the case with other transgender. So now, conclusion, I would like to just end up with my one of my short poem. That's the world is lovely, dark and deep, but I have promised to live my life as it is, not under any foundation or per history, but as per my desire and per my instinct. Don't know exactly how much I have to go, but I will go miles and miles before I sleep. Thank you so much for your patience. Have a great day. I just tried to make some.
Okay, great. Great, Sonali, right. So, a very good presentation, I would say. Metamorphosis. And I loved your poem as well. I think the way you wrote, yeah, obviously Robert Frostian, but yes, that's the human spirit of struggle to make one's self on the road to be recognized and be known by others as well. Thank you so much, Sonali. Thank you so much for that. So yes, who is next in the list? Please come up. Uh, Basically, my list is better. Yes. Has Shubhangi joined? Do we have Shubhangi here? No. Okay. Then after Sonali, I think we have. Let me find the list first. I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes list gets lost. One, two, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So now we have, yes, we have Satakshi Sanyal. Satakshi, are you there? No. Yes, we have then Guru Lata ji.
Yes, sir. I'm here,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, great, Guru Lata. Yes, please.
Good morning, Honorable present here. I'm Gurlata. I'm from Tamil Nadu. And today I would like to talk about the importance of gender sensitization. Overall course, I will give an explanation about how I understand the course, 5-day course. Okay. Here, how it can lead us towards a more humane understanding of LGBTQ identities. First of all, I would like to thank our organizers, Department of English and Spectrum LGBTQIA Club, Vasanta College for Women. Thank you, one and all, who are organized this particular course. I attended many lectures, seminars on LGBTQ. Just part of the whole seminar. But this is the first time I attended 5-day course on LGBTQ topics through the society and literature. How the particular person or LGBTQ people suffers a lot. Here, what gender sensitization means? It's a process of increasing awareness of gender equality and challenging the norms and stereotypes associated with the gender roles. This includes being sensitive towards the needs and experiences of people who identify as LGBTQ. Unfortunately, society has been conditioned to view gender and sexuality in binary terms, male or female, heterosexual or homosexual. This has led to the exclusion and marginalization of individuals who do not conform to these binary identities. It is important to realize that gender identity and sexual orientation are not choices, but innate aspects of a person's being. Here, LGBTQ individuals face a lot of discrimination and prejudice, ranging from verbal abuse to physical violence. This is largely due to lack of understanding and acceptance of their identities. As a society, we need to create safe and inclusive spaces for them and make an effort to understand their experience. One way to achieve this is that through gender sensitization, it involves educating ourselves about gender and sexuality, unlearning the biases we have internalized, and respecting the diversity of identities that exist in our society. This can be done through workshops, training programs, and open discussions. By becoming more gender sensitive, we can create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected regardless of their gender identity or sexual orientation. This includes using inclusive language such as using they as gender neutral pronoun and respecting individuals' chosen names and pronouns. However, in recent years, there has been increasing awareness and understanding of LGBTQ plus issues and a growing movement towards greater acceptance and equality. Some topics in our literature, we have some theories. Theories have awareness about LGBTQ issues. Like queer theory, this theory challenges the idea that gender and sexuality are binary and fixed, and instead suggests that they are fluid and socially constructed. It seeks to disrupt traditional ideas of gender and sexuality, and it emphasizes the importance of embracing difference and diversity and heteronormativity. This concept particularly refers to the assumption that heterosexuality is the normative or default sexual orientation, that other sexual orientations are abnormal or deviant. Like we have these some justify oppressive social policies in our practices in our literature also. Some example works like Color Purple and Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. In this novel, Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin's novel, firstly tells the story of a young man struggling to come to terms with his homosexuality. And some other literary works also exposing their problems, like Orlando by Virginia Woolf, Color Purple in African American woman, how including a lesbian relationship between the two of main characters, like and some memoirs also expose the particular people's experience, like their sufferings. These are all the first few examples in our literature exposing sufferings of LGBTQ community. And in conclusion, concluding words, throughout these course, I understand how the gender sensitization is essential for creating a more just and equitable society. And it requires us to challenge our biases and strive towards a more humane understanding of LGBTQ identities. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Gurulata, for sharing your thoughts with us, and rightly have mentioned the contributions by Afro-American writers. Yes, thank you so much. I mean, it was really a very meaningful discourse on your part as how we can try to create a better world on terms of equality and equity both. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes. Now we have Simmi Mishra. Simmi, are you there? No. Then we have, yeah, Muhammad Nafis. Hello, Nafis.
Yes, sir. Very good morning.
Morning. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity for sharing my thoughts on LGBT course. I have learned a lot in this 5-day session. I don't know much about transgender before this, but I have some text which I am going to read here. So please listen. We have in a society that is deeply structured by sex and gender, the characterization of people as male or female parameters of our society on every level, but sexual orientation categories based on gender system in a number of ways via intersex or other genders. Gender fluidly positioned outside of gender. In India, there are a host of socio-cultural groups of transgender people like Nidras, Skinners, and other transgender identities like Sikh, Shaktis, Jogtas, Jogapas, Aradhis, Shakti, etc. We live in a society that is deeply affected by sex and gender. The characterization of people as male or female parameters of our society at every level, but sexual orientation categories based on gender binary system. Shiv, Shakti, Jokas, Aradhiti, Shakti, etc. all members of this subgroup face severe discrimination and harassment in all respects. In contemporary India, they are subject to unfair property services and admission to educational institutions and victimization in multiple settings like family, education, workplace, healthcare setting, public spaces. Seldom our society realizes our care to realize the trauma, pain, and agony which the member of transgender community neither undergo nor appreciated the innate feeling of the member of the transgender community. That's all about my view. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohammed Nafis. Thank you so much. Nisha Kumari, we have next. Nisha Kumari, are you there? Shreya Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shreya. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. This is Shreya Singh, a master's student at Department of English, Faculty of Arts, PHU. My topic for today's presentation is Perils of Language for a Gender Non-Conformist. I'm sure many of us must have heard of the gender sensitization initiatives taken up by various social media platforms. For instance, in Instagram, users now through their bio can make the world aware of the so-called gender by specifying their pronouns like he, him, she, her, and they, them. Now, the LGBT Resource Center has defined gender neutral pronouns as providing an identity for a singular person who does not identify as he, him, or she, her. Now, this stance of the LGBTQ community has surely ruffled many feathers in academia. For majority of individuals, they refers to a plural pronoun, but rest assured that they as a singular pronoun has been in vogue for centuries. Its traces can be found in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, to Shakespeare's Hamlet, to Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. However, this usage of they as a singular pronoun did not necessarily back then include non-binary people. In fact, it's only during the recent times in India, especially on local levels, people have started becoming aware of the proper way to address the LGBTQ community. Now, all these developments, stance on language, has caused me to contemplate what truly language means and who controls this language. Language, in layman's language, is a vehicle for communication. It communicates in a way our existence to the world. Two pieces of paper with text on them, namely birth and death certificate, attests to the world of one's existence and perishment. In this view, one may say that language is a powerful tool wielded by powerful few to deprive minorities like non-binary people of their existence. Refusal of society to assign a word to acknowledge pride community is one of the most cruel and subtle ways it has tried to commit genocide. And sadly, not much has changed. The perils of language for these people continue to exist. Just because they do not accept the stringent requirement of society, they are treated as inanimate beings. Their plight has very beautifully been articulated by renowned author, poet, and activist Alok V. Menon, who in their book Pronoun state, being trans means existing in the underbelly of language. The premise of speech is the promise of it. But what about those of us for whom there are no words? It's not that we don't exist, it's that we have been written out of language. Pronouns, then, aren't just about the ability to use a word like she. They are ultimately about our ability to be. This has never just been about who gets to speak. This has always been about who gets to live. Pronouns, dear reader, dear audience, it's not just a word for these people, it's a legacy. Shedding more on the gravity of pronoun for these people, Menon states, a pronoun is a word we use to stand in for a noun. A noun is a thing, something that empathetically and unequivocally exists, and we are not allowed to exist. With this contemplation on pronouns, language, gender, and non-binary, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Shreya. Thank you so much. And the way you have contemplated on the role of language and binary positions and other related spheres. It was really a very different take on that because we all get to know the world through the language only. And it's very important to know who, how, for whom, and all these aspects of language construction, I think. So thank you so much, Shreya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, next we have Nirmala.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
This is very special program for me because I
Okay,
haven't
can
heard
you
there is a
people
club
switch on
for
your video as well?
LGBTQ.
Can you people
Sir,
switch
I
on your
couldn't
video?
turn on my video. I couldn't turn on my video.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
I'm
please,
sorry.
if
It is
possible,
not
those
possible.
who can do, they should. Thank you so much. Yes. Huh.
Yeah. I congratulate the Saurabh sir and his team because creating a spectrum club for LGBTQ people to know the identity and identity struggle in this heteronormative society. I really liked all the sessions which focused on same-sex marriage, gender fluidity, sexuality, identity, drag queens, and other programs like awareness and sexuality training by the resource persons. Here, I would like to talk about cultural identity, which is so much rooted in North Karnataka. Since I'm from North Karnataka, there is a cultural cult called Jogati. Jogati is related to goddess Yellamma. Some transgenders are also associated with this Jogati cult. So I am focusing on how these Jogati are connected with transgender people and why do they become the Jogati people who live their life in this heteronormative society. So I just mentioned what is Jogati or who are Jogatis. Jogatis are the worshippers of Yellamma Devi because they were marginalized, most of the time suppressed, and coming from the lower caste people. Uh, and most of them are women. Some of them are men called Jogapas. Uh, why do they become Jogatis and how do they become sexual minority people to enter in this sector? I would like to focus. How do social minority people become Jogati? This is my focus area now here. Those who are feeling or expressing different gender roles will be identified themselves or family will be taken to the near temple or any Devi temple or goddess temple called Ellamma, Huliyamma or Uramma, etc. And the priest of the temple will tie the tali. It is called as Muttu Kattudu. It is a cultural term again, Muttu Kattudu. It's a tying a pearl. From the day that person becomes a servant of goddess. For Jogati people, especially transgenders community, is Muttu Kattudu is like a marriage ceremony. They get ready as brides. It is a celebration of man becoming woman. Even transgender people are not born but become one, as Himanta Dua says, women are not born but become one later. So once they were tied tali, elder Jogatis accept the new one as their daughter or disciple. After accepting from the senior Jogatis, the new Jogatis tongue will be burnt. This is no different one. The new Jogatis tongue will be burnt by a neem stick to make them free from all the previous sins which they had committed in their earlier life. So the new Jogti get padligi. Padligi is a kind of basket, a wooden basket made by bamboo sticks, where in that Ellamma's idol kept, and that padligi will be used for their livelihood. I don't want to call it as a begging or seeking money from the people in the name of goddess. It is a mean or a tool of earning money for their livelihood. It is so much rooted in culturally rooted in North Karnataka. See, why do they become Jogati? Yeah, we came to know how do they become Jogati. Why? There should be a reason. So which I found after reading Manjama Jogati's work called Naduve Solva Hennu, which we can translate in English, woman who emerges in between in Rust. It is her autobiography. See, in that book, it is mentioned, it can be restricted not as mere devotion or compulsion. It is more important than that. In existence in heterosexual society, binary system of sexuality is accepted and considered as normal. Hence, anomalies are frowned upon. LMS 12 provides an equal treating irrespective of sexuality. This platform is being provided a breathing space for those who are different in the so-called society. So, Elamanata, Padligi, Chaudiki, a folk performance fields have been a social shelter for decades to transgender women in North Karnataka. This is what I wanted to focus regarding transgender people related to the geographical. And sir, I have few visions. I would like to be with you people for even future sessions. So I would like to know more from transgender people since I'm doing research on transgender people. In further sessions, try to focus on transgenders who are uh, culturally rooted, like especially region wise. India is a country with a lot of diversity, so there are various cultures. So we have a space for transgender people as well. So how they were rooted culturally, I want to know about that in the future programs. And I also want to know about the subtle politics of representation. As Gayatri Spivak says, can subaltern speak? In her essay, does subaltern need another's voice to represent the subaltern voice? It is not necessary in these days, I feel. They have their own voice. So, what are the subtle politics of representation? Why the LGBT community is representing in various ways? We would like to know about that because gender identity, cannot talk in isolation. So it is so much connected with culture, community, state, etc. And I also would like to know in the future days the emergence of LGBT literature, movement, and activism in India from the beginning. The process, how it had happened, and what is the vision for future for this LGBT community. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nirmala ji, for drawing our attention to the local cultural aspects or practices associated with the LGBTQ identities. Your suggestions are quite noteworthy, and I wonder whether we can invite you as a possible resource person in the next program to speak on this for the Sri Ganesh, if you can say that. Thank you, Nirmala. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So now we have Lekha. Lekha, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please. Lekha ji, yes, continue.
So just a moment, I'm sharing my screen.
Sure.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Lekha Chatole. I'm a research scholar from Nasik, Maharashtra, and I'm pursuing my PhD from University of Pune. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this wonderful 5-day online add-on course and for giving me this opportunity to present here. So for my presentation, I have taken book review of a trans woman named Revati. A. Revati. A. Revati is a Bangalore-based writer and activist working for the rights of sexual minorities. She's a trans woman and belongs to the Hijra community. Her name itself highlights her with appreciable acknowledgement and recognition in the country and across the world. Her first book in Tamil, Our Lives, Our Words, was published in 2004 as a collection of real life stories of the transgender people, that is, Hijra community in South India, followed by her own autobiography, The Truth About Me, a Hijra life story in 2010, bringing her huge fame. Originally, the book was written in Tamil and translated into English by a feminist, V. Geeta. Revati wanted to ease the consequential conflicts with her family and her village people who feature in the book many a time, mostly in controversial manner. Born as Dorai Swami as a boy in a middle class family of Namakkal district of Tamil Nadu, she continually unawares her male assigned child life till the realization of inner being, a female, as she began getting attracted and dragged to the ways of the girls over boys. She enjoyed girls' friendship and did not mix with boys, rather, they did not attract her towards them. She even used her mother's clothes to dress up as a girl, and she would remain alone or prefer girls' company. It began resulting in displeasing comments, obviously about her sexuality, affecting on her studies, and continued degrading her results. Finally, dropped off after the 10th examinations. So from here, I would like to start my review, the book review. I have taken two books. It's a very short one. The review is very short. Overcoming the filthy life of Hijra, embarking upon heralding to rejuvenate and dignify the Hijra life, Revati made presentations with the help of an NGO named Sangama and later herself. Many brief presentations she made about her life and struggles, and with her diary, she recorded helped her put it in the collection in the form of a narrative that today it is popularly known as The Truth About Me, Life of a Hijra. Uh, it is her autobiography that depicts her drive from a village boy to a transformed transgender, her running away from Delhi, her running away to Delhi for the Hijra patronage and family rivalry, and despite amongst one another, shamelessly roaming on streets looking for clients for livelihood, which she felt destined to undergo police and rowdy brutalities, and none for her protection. Her shifting to Mumbai didn't diminish her appalling experiences, rape, and physical violence of the prevalent heteronormative society. Back to her native place, whenever she tried to visit, she suffered due to her parents and siblings, and nonetheless the villagers. For them, she brought a huge blow to their family. In Bangalore, too, she had but similar experiences of the social binary cruelty, being stripped in a police station and humiliated, almost killed with vicious words. Due to ego clashes, her espousal with a straight man survived not long. Now, here in the second book, it is rather a sequel of her autobiography. The second book, named Revati, Life in Activism. She shares her experiences through stories working for the Sangama, that is the NGO, of course, a Bangalore based NGO that helps transgender people. She became an important instrument in providing a voice to the non binary conformist, that is, queer community, basically the transgender people. Actually, it is her research on the lives of such people. She talks about her quitting the Sangama and her independent activism, how she started her independent activism after no quitting the NGO. So, here I would like to quote her famous quotes. So, here A. Revati says, and I quote, men and even women stared at us and laughed and heckled
Can
us.
you change your slide, Lekha?
Yes, sir, I'm changing actually. Is it not visible?
I mean, I
Oh my
think
god.
I mean, this is the
I have.
first page only. If I whatever I can see right
Oh,
now. Yes,
sir,
now we
is
have
it
got the
visible?
book picture of the lady Revati. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I'm so sorry I didn't knew.
No issue, no
So this
issue.
is the introduction.
Okay,
Okay, this is
fine.
the introductory slide. This one is when I was giving the book review, and this is the one of her quotes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, shall I continue?
Yes, please. Huh, huh.
Okay, sir. So she says, and I quote, men and even women stared at us and laughed and heckled us. I realized what a burden a Hijra's daily life is. Do people harass those who are men and women, straight men and women, when they go out with their families? Why a crippled person, a blind person, even they attract pity and people help them. If someone has experienced physical hurt, they are cared for both by the family and by outsiders who come to know of it. But we are not considered humans. Again, she says, and I quote, all I ask is that you accept as worthy of respect what you have all along considered unnatural and illegal. We want to live as women, and if we are granted the facilities that will enable us to do so, we will live as other women do. And the last one, sex is only one part of life. It is only one expression of companionship. It is something that needs to be accepted and fought for in order to live a life of human dignity. Gender expression or gender identity is also a matter of a person's choice. Laws that criminalize gender identity and sexual orientation have no place in a democracy and must be struck down. Everyone must join hands to fight for equal rights for all of us to live in a just society. Expressing her gratification, still coupled with fear of being exposed with miscreants and the discrimination even years after, is truly blatant that comments on the contemporary society. Her concern is palpable, but the fear is still there. She says, and I quote, I cannot quite describe it. The discrimination has come down over the years. But deep down, I live with the thought, will someone say or do something to hurt me today? That makes her intensely concerned for the status of the transgender community. She looks forward to change in the people's attitude towards them, acknowledging their suffering. And as Judith Butler says, gender is a social construct. So it is the society who should change and accept all the gender identities that exist. With this note, I shall stop my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lekha, for bringing to limelight a very notable contribution. A new, I think it must have added a new list in terms of list of reading materials. Thank you so much, Lekha, for your insightful presentation as from one, we can say, horse's mouth. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
we have now Pragati. Pragati, are you there? Okay. Then we have Savita Bural, Anjali Kumari, Aditi Krishan. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jamshida A. I mean, who is left now? Dr. Brinda P. And then Dr. Punita Ben Patel. Sorry, Bhargav.
Sir,
Yes. Punita ji.
sir, I'm Dr. Nagamani.
I was told that you are on a journey or so something.
Yes, sir, I was actually, but ma'am, people told spare your time so that you can share your views on this.
Okay,
So
great.
I took time to join
So I
and I
guess.
listened to.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining then. Okay,
Yeah.
go
I
please.
was listening to some of the presentations, and first of all, I would like to say something about me. I'm an assistant professor of English from the Institute of SRM Science and Technology, Chennai. I'm a faculty of English at the Department of English and Other Foreign Languages. And congrats to all the presenters before me, because they had given different views about this particular issue at hand. And I think most of them are research scholars doing some study on this particular concern. And I'm very glad that the institution has organized such a wonderful add-on course. I think this would be a great input for the research scholars who are doing their dissertation on this topic. And you have done a wonderful job by bringing in various resource persons who are very, very insightful and what shall I say, presenting different perspectives on this issue. And I'm basically from Tamil Nadu, and my knowledge about transgender community, it was like no, I have observed them in the local festivals we have, and it was one of kind of whatever we call no this rejection in the society, and they were not looked upon or treated with respect. Um, and this issue actually was kept nagging me when I grew up. And even when I became a mature adult, I could see that there is a lot of disparity in the society while treating this community for no fault of theirs. And the entire 5 day course no put shade through light on the various aspects from the point of view of the society, and also from the point of view of the concerned people who undergo this painful experience of rejection in the society. And I happened to, when I registered for this course out of curiosity, actually I wanted to know, because this is a very burning issue and very relevant and very contemporary issue that we face in the society, and they need to be the transgender community need to be identified and treated as normal human beings, because they have every right. People who give birth to children with disability, they do not discard them, they accept them, the parents accept them as god given maybe. So such a kind of acceptance, I think, should be given for these people also, from the parents first of all. And it is a more of a kind of a psychological acceptance, I should say. I came across a quotation which I would like to read, because you never know when a transgender person is going to come into your life. You need to be prepared and you need to be ready to help them. This quotation, I think, throws light on the need of everybody around to accept them as they are without imposing anything. So, as in one of the lectures, I heard that it is sexuality is more of a kind of a mental state. We may be born outside as some gender, and but inwardly what we feel is more essential. So this kind of acceptance from the persons around those people should be initiated. And I don't know, is there any kind of support for the parents to take them, accept them psychologically first of all, because once they accept them psychologically, the treatment they receive will be better, I believe. And I happen to notice that Tamil Nadu is one of the earlier state governments to take measures for the welfare of the third gender. They called it third gender. I think today is the third gender day that is celebrated every year, 15th April. And I happen to notice that there are lots of schemes available by the government for the welfare of this third gender community, especially for the surgery they have to undergo in government hospitals, and the educational assistance. My what shall I say? My take would be like, They have to be independent. For them to be independent economically, they should equip themselves with good education, that whatever is available, they should grab every opportunity that comes to them, so that they can empower themselves with education, and by that way they can get some good job and take up some positions. And once the financial empowerment comes, they will get more confidence to face the society, and I think they will be able to face the challenges in a better way if they empower themselves uh, through education and through job. And they should speak for their community even more assertively, because it is they who undergo the real trauma, physical trauma as well as the mental trauma. It is they who undergo. See, I cannot take the pain. I can just sympathize with them, we can just sympathize with them, empathize with them, but it is they who undergo the real pain. So they should come forward. Only if they empower themselves, they can speak for their community and they can find better solutions for the people who follow them. I hope that is a better solution. I think we can. And as one of the participants said, it differs from state to state. I think the treatment or the culture or the perspective of the people differ from every state, I believe, and it has a long way to go. We have to be supportive of this community, and I don't know whether we can assure that I will be supportive of them. Once we get such an experience, personally only we will know whether we are really supportive or not. This is a sad reality, I think, and we have to train ourselves or tune our mind to take it, even though it is a hard pill to swallow. We cannot discard it as not needed. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I'm happy to be part of this 5-day add-on course. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nagmani. Yes, rightly you said, be the change you want to see in the world. That's the most important thing, and we need to inculcate these ideas whereby we can be courageous enough to accept other identities which hitherto have been blemished or presented to us in a very different lens. Thank you
Thank
so
you, sir.
much. Thank you so much, Nagmani. Now we have
Thank you, sir.
Punita Benji. Are you there? Okay. If she is not here, then let me uh, talk about those who have been called but were not the part of the program in the beginning. Do we have Shreya Shubhangi? Nisha Kumari?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm here.
Nisha. Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nisa. I'm a PhD research scholar. I'm recently at Patliputra University, Patna, and this 5 days online add-on course was really very helpful and very informative. So, coming to my point, growing up identifying as a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning is even harder according to national data. Young people in the LGBT community face higher rates of rejection, violence, suicide, and homelessness when compared to their general population peers. The LGBT felt suppressed because of the expectations of the society, and they feel apologetic to born different. Identity crises occur when the struggle between the person one has come to be and the person society expects one to become, and for it, one have to work really hard to fill this expectation. Right of transgender in Indian context. Transgender constituents an integral part of every cultural diversity across the globe, subjected to similar prejudice owing to their sexuality and gender with denial of basic human rights and restrictive definition of the freedom. Despite major changes in law and norms surrounding the issues of same-sex marriage and the right of LGBT people around the world, public opinion on the acceptance of the homosexuality in society remains sharply divided by country, region, and economic development. In most countries surveyed, those who have greater level of education are significantly more likely to say that homosexuality should be accepted in society than those who have less education. In a similar number of countries, those who earn more money than the country's national median income also are more likely to say they accept homosexuality in society than those who earn less. Like in Israel, for instance, 52% of higher income earners say homosexuality is acceptable in society. The term transgender is not new at all. It has its root in Dwapar Yuga. We must have heard about Sikhandi. It is a character in the Mahabharata. According to the Mahabharata story, the second incarnation of Amba, the eldest daughter of Siraz, who was abducted by Bhishma, was born as Sikhandi. He fought on behalf of the Pandavas along with his father Drupada and brother Dhristadyumna in the war. Some queer authors like R. Raja Rao, Devdutt Patnaik, Lakshminarayan Tripathi, Mahesh Dattani tried really well to put out these taboo faced by the LGBT community. And according to me, I don't think to be born in LGBT community is a problem. Why should we take it as a problem? And to normalize this among society, I think the best weapon against it is education. As we can see, the more educated person or community face less level of marginalization as compared to uneducated community. While we talk about gender sensitization, we must note that everyone is equal, so we don't have any right to diminish any community, gender, or class of people in the name of the betterment. If we want to do something, we must come up with some concrete solution and idea. In my opinion, we must talk more about those eunuchs transgender who has achieved success in their respective fields and areas, because if we do so, we will take a positive lead toward their betterment. And at last, I would also want to highlight that there are many, I repeat, there are many success stories of the LGBT community which are still unheard, hidden, and untold. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, unhidden, hidden, untold, the other side of the identities. They have to be brought to the limelight. Thank you so much, Nisha, for the presentation. And now let me invite Anvesha. Are you there? Anvesha Adhikari?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning, yeah, please.
Give me some time to present this screen.
Sir, I just have one question that can you tell us the queue or the order which is going right now because so that we can understand where exactly we are?
See, the point is, Ria, uh, uh, there have been there has been a division. There are divisions in that. Groups are made, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
right
sir.
now,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
taking care of the group which is yellow colored, right? And I
Right,
think
right,
you are
right, right.
not the
So,
part
okay,
of
okay.
that list, right? So accordingly,
No, no, I have that list open in front of me, so I was confused regarding the names. So
right, no issue with
actually,
that.
I am waiting like when exactly should I start getting nervous? So that's why I asked.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Anvesha,
Okay,
please
sir. Okay,
continue.
thank you.
Huh.
Yes.
So, good morning, everybody. This is Anvesha Adhikari, a research scholar in the Department of English, PHU. And today, the topic of my presentation is Unveiling Betrayal in Same Sex Love Traumatic Experience of Tane in Koban. So, as we all know, that the theme of betrayal in love is not unknown and has been extensively discussed in literary field. For example, if we go back to the works of Shakespeare, Joyce, or Khaled Hosseini for that matter, they have explored the theme of betrayal in love, in sexual love basically, in heterosexual love, from different angles. But the discussion around betrayal in same sex love and the followed up emotional trauma that the betrayed partner goes through is often less discussed in literary. So even though queer people tend to shun their sexuality and gender journeys from the homophobic society, the forceful silencing often cannot intrude in the path of their blooming romantic relationships. But unfortunately, the nightmares of separations resulting from betrayal from their partners are far too common in queer communities. Now, Cobalt Blue is it is primarily written in Marathi by Sachin Pungalkar. It follows the story of heartbreak of Tanay, a college-going closeted gay who had the best of his moments with this unnamed paying guest came to stay in their house. But time showed its worst and made him experience the extremities of betrayal when his boy lover eloped with his own sister, Anuja. Now, the second part of the novel follows the trajectories of Anuja and how she overcomes trauma after being abandoned by the same paying guest that is her lover, and the space and support she got, though in an oppressive manner, definitely, from her family members. Now, the question arises if Anuja's ordeal is a topic that can be shared or heard, then why does Pranay's silence after his boy lover left him, or him being unresponsiveness of the things around him, did not spark any kind of empathy, even from those who are closest to him? Now, this can have a bearing on the conception of yaris, whereas R. Rajra also discusses or mentions in his book Whistling in the Dark that any kind of homosexual bonding arouses no suspicion, and society at large regard this kind of association just as fiction. So, even Anuja, who is the closest confidante of Pranay, did not suspect anything more than a mere friendship between him and the paying guest, that is her lover basically. Thus, Tanay's changed behavior and the lost attachment towards her made her confused and sad. Thus, in a society which is dominated by the powerful enactment of heterosexual intimacies, the idea of homosexual union becomes relatively invisible. Again, due to the paucity of space for articulation of relationship trauma caused by romantic betrayal in homosexual union, or due to the fear of being considered as an outcast, most of the LGBTQIA plus members commit suicide or suffer silently with series of depressions, anxiety, and loneliness. And these are the points which I think maybe the problems of betrayal, acceptance of homosocial behavior in India, societal stigma and middle class values, difficulty in self acceptance or denial of one's sexual orientation here play a very important role, and shame culture. So, in conclusion, I can say that it's very important to discuss this particular theme, like betrayal in love, because by exploring the effect of betrayal in same-sex relationship, society and therapists will have a better as well as a different kind of understanding of the issues and challenges of these individuals. These are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, Anvesha, for bringing to light the ideas on betrayal in same sex love. Yeah, it has really been a very interesting observation. We have been talking about betrayals in terms of heteronormativity, but within the structure that is homonormativity, the betrayal seems to be an interesting idea. Thank you so much, Anvesha.
Thank you, thanks.
Now we have Sudiksha, I think. Sudiksha, are you there?
So is it Sudeshna?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sudeshna Shet. I'm so Mukherjee, right? Sudeshna Mukherjee, I'm so sorry. Yeah, please.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm just presenting. So is my screen visible?
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, visible, please.
Okay, okay. So I'm Sudeshna Mukherjee, research scholar in the Department of English, BHU. I'm going to present on Deepa Mehta's 1996 film Fire, starring Shabana Azmi and Nandita Das in lead roles. The film, for its bold, path-breaking, and explosive portrayal of female sexuality and same-sex attraction between women, has incited a torrent of violent criticisms from various Hindu right-wing political factions like the RSS and Shiv Sena. A female Shiv Sainik, Meena Kulkarni, stated that if women's physical needs get fulfilled through lesbian acts, the institution of marriage will collapse, reproduction of human beings will stop. The then Maharashtrian chief minister commented the film was alien to Indian culture. LGBT activists and defenders of free speech and expression vociferously protested against such orthodoxy. The film is set around an apparently happy middle class joint family comprising of an ailing mother, Biji, her two sons, Ashok and Jatin, Radha and Sita, their wives respectively. While Ashok has taken a vow of celibacy after dawned with the knowledge of Radha's infertility, as he believes the only reason for sexual intercourse is procreation, to propagate the family lineage. Jatin is trapped in a forced marriage and openly pursues his love for his girlfriend, Julie. Both the husbands are alien to their wives' emotional and sexual needs. Radha and Sita, trapped in loveless marriages, develop a bond which transcends the mundane to reach a purity of love and passion. They understand one another and fulfill each other's emotional and sexual needs. As part of a society, we are conditioned to think in certain ways, which serves as the norm. Any dissent is considered a threat to the stable notions of society. That is why Radha is the true Indian woman, a goddess, as long as she is the docile subject who can be subjugated and is devoted to the needs of her family, immolating every desire of the self. The moment she transgresses the boundaries of these set patriarchal norms, she transforms from a goddess to a shameless Randi who dares to assert her will and desire and refuses to be subjugated and appropriated. Reproduction, time and again, becomes a strong argument against the same sex love and renders it as a violation of nature. Patriarchy treats women as these child producing factories who are not only content, who are only content in this role of a baby maker. Rituparna Ghosh talks about these mainstream meta-narratives which are built over a long span of time and are susceptible to threats and challenges from the minority deviant mini-narratives which are constantly in the process of formation. The heterosexual and the queer bodies form anomalies which threaten and destabilize the heterosexual body and the compulsory heteronormative society it constitutes. The creation of it leads to the creation of spaces for existence and proliferation of parallel narratives. But if we think, if parallel narrative starts to emerge, what can the dominant narrative retain its dominance? Without slaves, there are no masters. In the same way, without the othered category of queers, there can be no base for compulsory heteronormativity. Fire, through the story of Radha and Sita, defamiliarizes the otherwise familiar mundane worldview. It problematizes the dual structures of patriarchy, heteronormativity, purity, and traditions. Now, I would like to bring your attention to these dialogues from the film itself, which will surely force each one of us to think critically of the society we inhabit, and might even encourage us to break free from the shackles of pseudo-narratives toward a journey of true plurality and liberation. Sita, isn't it amazing we are so bound by customs and rituals? Somebody just has to press my button. This button marked tradition, and I start responding like a trained monkey. Sita, a woman without a husband is like boiled rice, bland and unappetizing. Ashok, shameless Randi, what kind of wife you have become? What kind of woman are you? Again Sita, there is no word in our language that can describe what we are, how we feel for each other. Now comes the final point of culmination, breaking free from the shackles of compulsory heteronormativity and the final acceptance and embracing of the self. Radha, without desire I was dead, without desire there is no point of living. And you know what else? A desire to live. I desire Sita. I desire her warmth, her compassion, her body. And that is how we see in fire homosexuality.
Is she audible to anyone?
No, sir, she's not.
Okay, there must be kind of disconnection.
She was her presentation is muted. It's displaying on the screen.
Yes, it's muted, not moving. So, I think. Avnisha. She has joined.
No, sir, I got disconnected. Was I audible?
Yeah, we know that. We know that you got disconnected. So please resume your talk. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, you were
Can you
disconnected.
please tell me from where should I resume?
Yes, when you were reading the dialogues from cinema, when Ashok is saying
Okay,
something
okay.
to Sita, right? Yes.
Okay, sir, I'm presenting again. I'm really sorry.
अरे यार इसमें सॉरी क्या बात है, नेटवर्क इशू में हम कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. So please start. हाँ.
Sir, is my slide visible?
No. Yeah. It's about to. Now it is. Yes, please continue.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yes, sir. Yes. So Sita says there is no word in our language that can describe what we are, how we feel for each other. Now we come to the final point of culmination, the breaking free from the shackles of compulsory heteronormativity and final acceptance and embracing of the self by Radha. And she says, without desire, I was dead. Without desire, there is no point of living. And you know what else? I desire to live. I desire Sita. I desire her warmth, her compassion, her body. And so we see that fire is not only an agent, not only portrays homosexuality as an agent of subversion, but also an agent of free will, choice, and celebration of plurality. Thank you, sir. That's all for my presentation.
Thank you, Mukherjee. I still remember when Fire was released, and I was, I think, in 10th standard or so, and the kind of buzz is created. But I was not allowed because I was not of the age as well, because I used to live in the village at the same time, far off place. But Fire, then I could manage to see it, watch it later. And your presentation has brought certain aspects of Fire that may trigger a kind of fire in terms of ongoing discourse on LGBTQ. And the root word which I can think of from your talk is desire. That's the Lacanian desire, I think. So thank you so much, Sudeshna, right, for your presentation. And with her, technically, we come to an end because we have nobody else to present from the group, right? And Ria, did you find yourself?
Yeah, I'm there in the slot from 12 o'clock. I'm there in
Okay.
the audience slot.
Okay,
Yes.
then. Okay,
Yes,
Ria.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you. Yes.
great. So with this, we come to an end, and thank you so much for your presentations. Yes, you really came up with the certain insights which might hit the ball into further rolling. Thank you so much, and let's all meet in the evening at 5 o'clock to listen to Niladri. for he is the last speaker and the ballot speaker. So thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.